upgrading the memory in a early 2011 MacBook Pro 13.3. Pretty simple task, actually. It's just a matter of removing all the screws, taking the bottom off. So you need a really teeny tiny screwdriver, Phillips, number 0, I believe. That is, unscrew. There's about 11 or 9 or 10 screws, something like that. There's 10 screws. So unscrew the screws. I was going to use that magnetic bowl, but it turns out they're not all the same size. Okay, so now that the screws are all out, it's just a matter of lifting the bottom up. Pretty simple. It's funny, on Dells they do it almost the same way, but they just have one screw. I don't know how that works. Actually, I know how that works. I just don't know why they think 9 or 10 little tiny screws is better than one screw in the middle like the Dells use, but that's how they do it in Cupertino. So then you pull out the sticks of SODIMMs just like every other laptop. It's got the two on top of each other just like most good ones, you know. Some of the smaller laptops, notebooks have ones underneath the keyboard, but this isn't like that. So you just pop the stick out, and you can pop the one underneath it out, and then you insert them in the same reverse fashion. Pretty easy. These are 4 gig sticks. I'm going from 4 gig total to 8 gigs total. It's pretty nice, I hope. So the only thing to really note about is that there's a slight notch in the memory, and it's about 2/3 of the way between between the thing, or 1/3, however you want to say it. And then you insert the bottom stick, then you insert the top stick, and that's all there is to inserting the memory. As long as you got that notch lined up, and you don't, you push it in all the way and push it down so that it actually clicks. You got to make sure it clicks. Here, it's just a matter of putting the bottom back on and screwing in all 10 screws, which I am about to do in slow motion. Oh wait. So then you're just gonna line it up, make sure it's in there right, and don't do like I'm doing. These screws do not go in vertically; they go in kind of with the curve of the case. So I'm putting them in kind of 90 degrees from the side. Instead, they're not really perpendicular. They go in at an angle that matches the curve. Same way with all of them on the outside. They all match the curve. So last screw, and then I'm going to boot it up because I don't know if there's a BIOS screen to get into or what, but it certainly doesn't really say anything about that. Nope, I did not push the button. I thought I pushed the button. I did not actually push the button. There, push the button all the way. Fat bastard. Okay. I think it's funny that the Mac sound is, it's exactly the same as it's always been. I don't think they've ever changed the Mac sound. Maybe they did, but it still sounds the same way as I have an old Power Mac from, I don't know, mid-90s. It's running, what is it, OS 9 or something. It was 8, but I downloaded a pirated copy of 9 and I upgraded it. And it makes the same noise as this when you boot it up. Honestly, there's a lot of stuff about this OS 10.7.2 or whatever that I think feels just like the old old versions of Mac that I was using back in elementary school. And I'm 31 years old, so elementary school was 20 years ago, and this feels the same. Okay, so I got my About Mac menu I can go into and see what the memory is like. Zoom in. There you go. Upgraded. Really easy. It's actually really, like I said, really cheap from Newegg. That's the only place I would trust. I purchased it on Tuesday and I received it on Saturday. That was with the space shipping. I think that's pretty fast. So let's see. 4 gigs, 4 gigs. Pretty nice, babe.